Okay, so why make a new YouTube channel? Um, and why do it like you've been drinking like moonshine for the past 3 years of your life? Why do that? Well, I can't answer that last part, but I can talk about why I wanted to do a new YouTube channel. Um, so, my old YouTube channel, The Dread Pirate, I started first of all, I started it when I wasn't really like taking this whole writing thing seriously. Towards the end, the like 3 years ago, I did upload some homemade audiobooks of some of my stories there. I might transfer those over here at some point, but they're still up there. I'm pretty proud of those. I kind of figured out what I wanted to do at that point, but my YouTube channel initially was just like a place where I could, so I could have a channel so I could comment on videos I liked. And a lot of that channel eventually became archives of other people's videos. A person would have a video taken down for XYZ reason. I was savvy enough to download the video. I would re-upload it there. My very first video there is basically an archive of a debate between Salieri and Razorfist about Trump, I think, or about the wall, and this other bullshit. Well, let's put a pin in that. I have a lot to say about that. But basically, I archived a lot of people's stuff. I was working. I had a couple archive projects that I never really finished. Like I was archiving Alfred the Absurd stuff. I was archiving Lord Cad and Spoonie's old D&D games that he did when they were part of Channel Awesome, the Chronicles of Wormwood and stuff like that. And I was also archiving a guy called the Dishonored Wolf or the World of Wolf. Let's put a pin in there too, and we'll come back to it. I also eventually I started putting my writing content on there. I started putting like audiobooks of stories I'd written on there. And but I also did other things. I was putting up my Dungeons and Dragons games and role playing games that I was doing with my friends. We had a podcast which started with me and my friend Davis and this other guy Malmoto, who we don't like to talk about anymore. And but also my friend Josh Segundo joined up, and then eventually his brother John joined up, and it was called initially Pirate Radio, and then the Bro Show, and now that podcast has become the John Prophecy Hip Hop and Rock Show on Facebook, and he still does that. And I still pop in over there, looking about as terrible as I do now, ignorantly speaking about music I don't often listen to. I do love rock and rap, but I don't necessarily know what I'm talking about. That sums up my appearance on that show pretty succinctly. But basically, the big problem is that there was no consistency to my content. It was just a bunch of shit. It was just a bunch of random shit that I felt the need to put on YouTube. And the stuff that I made personally, first of all, I don't think I'm a very good YouTuber. I don't think, and just to let you know, this channel might be a little sparse. This official channel I made right here. I don't think I'm a terribly good YouTuber. I really do appreciate that I somehow got like 1,400 people to watch me. But anybody who knows anything about YouTube, that's like nothing. That's like a drop. That's a drop of water in an ocean. But I'm proud of the stuff I made. I made it, and it's like a little, it's like a little kid painting a little house with a horse next to it, and it's nothing special, it's nothing to sneeze at, but I made it, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud of the low effort art I put on that channel, and it was a good learning experience. It taught me a lot of things. So that's why I want to keep it, and I want to provide a link to it. So if you guys want to check it out. Again, the audiobooks I might relocate later, but there was other things too, like we did a couple movie reviews. One in particular was the one we did of Maleficent 2. Funny story about that. So I recorded that while I was doing a security job outside with no audio, so you can't hear anything Josh Segundo is trying to say at all. He's just static, and it's still on there. It's still on that YouTube channel because I'm stupid, and I should have taken it down a long time ago. Yeah, it's a miracle I have any views or any subscribers on that channel whatsoever. But again, it's my stuff, and I'm proud of it, so, there you go. But the other reason why I want to start a new channel is, like, again, I'm taking the writing thing pretty seriously. This is what I want to focus on. I want to promote my stuff. I want to basically tell you about things I'm working on. I want to tell you, like, if I'm going to be at a convention, things like that, or where to get my books. I want to do stuff like that, promoting my art at this point. But the other thing, too, is that, again, I was an archive channel. I basically archived other people's work. Other people that, for starters, are better at YouTube than I am, and their stuff looks better, and people really went to the channel just for them. Now, if I were to get rid of that stuff, it would be more authentic. It would be my content. But I would also, nobody would check out the channel. They were going there for other people's content that was better quality than anything I put out. And it's like, and that would suck to lose that, but at the same time, it's like, they're not watching my stuff. And even if I didn't get anything, if I got like 5 views or 3 or nothing, at least it would be my content. But basically, I felt the need to archive these videos because a lot of these videos that I was archiving are gone. And notably, in particular, Dishonored Wolf, Ward of Wolf, whatever he goes by, or used to go by, he basically deleted his entire channel. And I was a big fan of his at the time, and I was like, and I felt like, and I still feel now that his stuff needs to be preserved and should be there for people to look at. It belongs in a museum, so to speak. So I basically, against his wishes, he didn't want his stuff re-uploaded. But a lot of the fans came out to me and said, "Oh, you downloaded his stuff. Could you put it up, please? I really want to watch the stuff." So I did it. So I basically made my channel an archive channel to basically keep his stuff out there. He did not want that to happen. He was against it. My argument was, well, he abandoned his content, and it's just like, it's kind of, he put it out there. It's not up to him anymore if he doesn't want to take control of it. But it was against his wishes, and if you think that's a shitty thing for me to say or think, okay, you may be right. I disagree, but I felt the need to preserve his content. On that note, however, I no longer agree with a lot of his content. A lot of these people that I was archiving have political opinions and opinions on media and just worldviews I no longer agree with. And it might be possible that in the case of the Dishonored Wolf, that maybe that's why he deleted his channel. Maybe he no longer agreed with his old videos and whatnot. A lot of his stuff sounded like it was coming from a place of depression, so I was like, my attitude was, dude, no, you make good stuff, don't beat yourself up like that. A lot of his opinions I don't agree with, and a lot of his takes I don't think are good. For example, I don't think he has a terribly good... I don't think he really understands why the Black Panther movie was successful, or why people like that, or why that means a lot to people. And he has a lot of bad takes on that. Like, he's complaining about them using Malay weapons, traditional African weapons. And it's like, I don't hear anybody complaining about lightsabers in Star Wars. I don't hear anybody complaining about Klingons using frickin' batless or knives. But, the black sci-fi characters using a spear, a high-tech spear made of a metal that absorbs sonic energy, that can do energy discharges, essentially a laser spear. Oh, that's a problem. I don't think he has the most insightful view on that. And needless to say, a lot of that content, a lot of that archive content, I no longer agree with, and I don't think it makes me look good. I'm a very liberal guy. I'm a Democrat. I can't stand Donald Trump, I've always felt that way, and I feel like a lot of this stuff is more conservative, and that I don't agree with it. And I should explain myself. At the time, the reason I was watching a lot of these people was, especially in his case, he was criticizing the sequel trilogy, the Star Wars sequel trilogy, which I did not like. I still don't like. And I personally feel like I was being radicalized to a more conservative lens. Basically, I didn't like this movie. I went onto YouTube to validate my opinion. A couple YouTube videos in, the algorithm takes you some weird guy saying, "Oh, the reason it's bad is because the liberals took over Hollywood. That's why the liberals did it." And there's a lot of channels out there, a lot of these grifter channels that are just farming anger about a dumb movie, that the end goal is to get you to vote for Donald Trump. And it's now 2026, and we're in a war with Iran, and tariffs are raised up everywhere, and Donald Trump's acting like a little Nazi dictator piece of shit, and things are bad. And I'm not okay with that. And I wasn't okay with that at the time. A lot of I started watching these people because it was well, I'm a Democrat, but let me hear the conservative side. It was the whole let's hear both sides argument, which I feel in 2026 is total bullshit, and fuck that. Fuck Fox News. Anyway, I don't feel comfortable being connected with that old content. So I feel the need to separate myself from it, and that's why we're doing this new channel. is like, I'm not actually 100% sure what to do with those old videos because I feel like they do deserve to be preserved. But I might make another channel that's just Word of Wolf Archive. I don't know. Seems like a lot of work. But anyway, that's where I'm coming from on that. I noticed a comment now when I was making the new channel, like most people are looking at his videos, and one person said, "Why did someone recommend me to this racist piece of shit?" And that's the thing. It's like, it's on my channel, so even though the Dishonored Wolf said that, people are going to think that I'm the racist piece of shit, and I just don't feel comfortable being connected to that anymore. So that's the reason why I feel the need to start a new channel. Hope I'll use this a little bit more. I'm very much out of practice with YouTube, and I was never that good to begin with. But I want this to be the channel just for my writing and whatnot, and we'll talk about that. But I will put a link on this site. If you want to watch my old content, feel free to do it. Look at all the crazy bullshit that I did on the Dread Pirate. The Dread Pirate is going to be my wacky second channel. Also, shout out to Quentin Reviews, who basically I learned this from. He basically had mentioned how another YouTuber encouraged him to try something that works and focus on that. And that's when I realized, basically, as much fun as I had archiving people's stuff and making random D&D videos or random hip-hop podcasts, it really dilutes your content. It's like, again, the channel was a big hodgepodge of whatever, and that's why I want to keep it going, but, I'm focusing on the writing now. We're going to keep it here. That's me ranting, so hope you enjoyed this. Hope you enjoyed my phone reflecting in my glasses and my disgusting beard and all those wonderful things. So for more cosmic horrors aside from my appearance, stay tuned and remember to dream evil. Catch y'all later.